Good morning, somewhere. This is Dr. JJ in the driver's seat for another edition of our show. Welcome. First timers need not admit to a problem, just listen and we'll try to inform and maybe entertain. We're talking to Hunter. What's on your mind today, Hunter?
Hey, Dr. JJ.
Sure.
I'm good. I'm good. Um, Want to talk about the subject of trust. And um, admittedly, from I have issues around trust.
No, really.
You don't say, right? Uh, uh,
No, that certainly is consistent, Hunter, with my observations.
yeah,
But um, you're getting to some pretty heavy stuff here. So please proceed.
yeah. And where I'd say I am, and we could unpack it, is I'm
Mhm.
in a place in my journey where uh, it's very important to me to um, have people around me uh, that I can trust, and um, uh, and and particularly in terms of doing business, uh, uh, you know, um, it's become more, you know, um, it's become more, evident to me that um, that's that's where the not just where the rubber hits the meets the road, but where for me that's what's golden. I put that way. That's what's golden for me. And so I'm and I realize that door swings both ways. I have to be a
Mm,
person that can be trusted, but at the same time, uh, I I feel that of my struggles and struggles uh, I've struggled with being trustworthy,
mm,
but at the same
mm,
time uh, um, being able to trust others.
mm,
And so, so I'm saying all this to say, so because of this,
mhm,
it feels to me like this is where uh, what really um, where I need to put my anchor down.
mm.
This is where there's real value for me and for others and um, as I seek to move towards the light at the end of the tunnel, that
Mm.
this is a path that's going to help me move towards that light. So
Mm.
if that makes any sense, I'll stop there and let you
Well,
respond. Yeah,
let me ask a question.
sure,
I know a thing or two about your history, as you
sure,
know.
sure.
Maybe not as much as certain police departments around the country, but that's okay. I don't,
Come on now.
I know many of the essentials, and that's just that's just fine. Um, but my question is this: I suspect that this issue of trust has been one that has affected you for a long time. So I'll ask, does this seem to be a new issue or a new awareness of an old issue for you?
Um, a new awareness of an old issue. Yeah, definitely a newer awareness of an old issue.
Good, good. That makes sense with what I understand. Um, because I just I've talked to a few characters involved in this story, as you know. Um, and it would appear that trust has been an issue that different characters have been wrestling with for a long, long time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely new. And it's new. So it's the impact of not being able to trust, and how that's affected my trustworthiness,
Mhm.
is where I'm getting in contact with
Yeah.
that put it that way.
hmm hmm
Uh, and at the
That's
same time,
no, that's good. Um, I've once again, I've got a little bit of history with you, and I have seen um, I'll say my observation is a change in trustworthiness over time, improvement in my humble opinion, um, and consistency, certainly for a number of years as you've been working on this and other issues. Um, what one of the things that we've talked about, we've talked about trust in terms of not only trusting other people but trusting higher power, God, if you will,
mhm,
and how interrelated those appear to be for you. Um, and 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 it's been interesting to observe. I'll throw this out and see if it rings true for you. It appears that um, your trust of others emanates from your faith in God. Does that fit or not for you?
That's JJ. Wow. Can you? Because I'm leaning towards saying I don't think so. But I want to make sure I understand. So can you maybe restate that? I'm not sure. Can you
Well,
come again with that?
let me see if I.
Come again.
No,
Okay, so come again.
I just crossed a couple of planes of existence there.
Right.
That was a leap, whether it's a
Yeah.
faith or a conceptual leap or just a leap into fantasy. I don't know,
Right.
but it occurred to me that way in the moment.
It makes it a little more practical.
Well, I'll work on that. It's we've talked about we've talked about our faith awareness, each of us having it in our own very personal ways.
Hmm.
Um, I know you talked about and given some very incredible, very wonderful examples of being able to taste and see that which is of uh,
Hmm.
a higher power we choose to call God.
Hmm.
Um, and and it suggests to me that you have a trust in this experience of tasting and seeing,
Sure.
which you haven't been able to experience in your dealings with others in the world.
Hmm.
At least not early on in your life. Now you're a little further on in your life,
Hmm.
as am I,
Hmm.
as we know.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, uh, but I, it, an observation I'll make is that I have the sense that you are able to, in a metaphorical way, taste and see the experience of others such a way that you can in spite of, this is one of those in spite of dreams we talked about. In spite of the hurt and the habits of the past, the rackets that we've had to drop, you're able to use the tasting and seeing to begin to experience trust in others.
Mhm.
This is not something complete,
Yeah.
but this is something that I sense has been occurring more and more in your life more recently.
Hmm. Yeah. So,
That's why I'm relating the two.
yeah. Let me say, I kind of need to keep. So my short answer to your question would still be no. Okay. So
All
let me
right.
let me see if I can if I go it this way if I'm answering your question. So I feel that issues I have around trust are deeply rooted in family issues of distrust.
Certainly.
Okay. Um, and that so there's some baggage or wounding there.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, um, it I have um, I would say uh, fallen in with folks,
Mm-hmm.
fallen in with folks who I learned to trust because I found, given uh, whatever activity we were in, you know, we were thick as thieves, pun intended.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I, like I said, I don't know about the rest of the audience, but I've been reading premium content here. Okay, so
okay.
I'm with you on
So,
that.
so,
Oh, just a little
right,
plug, audience. You want to get the premium content. Trust me.
right, yeah.
Please continue.
Yeah, yeah, thank you, Dr. Jen. So I found trust there, but that became the context
Well, I was going to say you
with
you found
others.
trust within the context of your rackets at that point.
Right, right. But I found, yeah, exactly. So in that context,
Mm.
but it took, so if it wasn't, and I won't go that, but that wasn't just related to um uh things that are that involve criminality, even though I said pun intended. I feel that um it just um it's like there's trust. I found trust where whatever it's like, if there was something that was engaged in that was, I'll say, shame based, if we're all in this together of that which is shame based in some form or fashion, then we have something in common. So there's
Right.
common ground.
Shared context.
Shared content. Right.
I mean, this can be in virtuous or vulgar things. We know that.
Right. Right.
And but like I say, that's why I said in the context of your rackets,
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure.
bonds,
Okay. Right.
it's
Right. Right.
trust is a type of bond,
Right.
type
Exactly.
of
Right.
bonding.
Right. As they say,
Okay, go ahead.
there's no atheist in the foxhole.
Also true. as a matter
Right.
as a matter of fact. Uh, but what we fail to do is realize we're all in foxholes.
But you get where I'm coming from. That's.
Oh, I do.
Uh,
I do. I hope you understand what I'm setting up here, because trust can exist in any number of contexts. But if it's based on lies, well, guess what? It has a faulty basis. It is very likely to in turn fall apart because it's not based on reality, is it?
Um, I take it from I think I get where you're coming from in your towards your last statement.
Okay.
It's
There
kind of
were a
what
bunch of
I
conclusions in that last statement. You're right.
yeah, was that?
There were a bunch of conclusions in that
Yeah,
last statement you would be able to
I
make.
kind of sum up if I'm hearing your last statement, it's kind of like it goes to the saying, "There's no honor among thieves."
Uh, it it emanates from similar assumptions,
Yeah,
and that's the whole point. It's about the assumptions. If trust is based on faulty assumptions, then the trust itself is faulty, just like a faulty foundation. The, the trust is very likely not to hold true. It can't. That bridge cannot hold true because the foundation is not built correct.
yeah. So what for me is really right is so I go back to core issues of family distrust.
Yes, sir.
So in moving out into the world,
Yes.
um, the quest becomes to find community where there
Right.
can be trust. And even if the community is found among what societally speaking or some or culturally speaking something uh, uh, looks like some kind of illicit activity.
Some people's community is in the system,
Is what?
in prison.
Yeah, right. Okay, right, yeah, exactly.
Your point, it does. It community is where we find it. To your point, it can be, yeah, it can be an illicit activity. It can be in, you know, sanctuary. It can be where it is,
yeah.
and it in turn it reflects on what we understand the world to be at that point in our personal evolution,
Right,
in our journey,
right.
in our quest,
And our rackets.
and it reflects our rackets. Absolutely.
And our rackets. So
Agreed.
so to what you're so that's been what in terms of that in that regard uh,
Mm.
what trust has looked like for me. And so um, so um, now on the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
so that's at the personal, interpersonal, societal level. If I put that way. That's what that looks like. That's what that looks like. Now, let's then go to the spiritual component. Because in the midst of whatever is going down, happening at the person to personal societal level, and whether and no, not whether whatever's going down, and yeah, and whether um, and being particularly engaged in what would be, has been, would be considered, um, again, I would say, illicit, shame-based, maybe even illegal activity. But there's been this power, this God, that has sustained me through that, whom, as you were rightly saying, I know from tasting and seeing
Yeah.
and experiencing that power. So I know I can put my trust there too. So these two things um, um, seem to be separate and apart.
Mm. Mhm.
Seem to be separate and apart. Um, and what I would propose to do is, I think that might be a good place to pause. Um,
I'd
and
like to
so,
add one thing.
with whatever you add, but I think
Okay. Yeah,
we're
we're about there,
yeah.
but I'd like to bring something back here, so as something to ponder. This is the beauty of the addict. This is the beauty of the addict. The addict can hold two apparently contradictory thoughts in its mind at the same time. It absolutely blows the mind of non-addicts. I know this because I talk and interact with them. It blows their mind that we can hold, because I'm an addict, I can hold, and I have been able to hold for an extended period of time, two very contradictory thoughts, as if both are real at the same time.
So
That's what you have been describing.
it's binary. The
Well,
well, yeah.
so it seems.
Well, if I'm with you, um, and someone, well, actually, my life partner shared with me that, who knows that I'm the son of an alcoholic, that one of the things that um, uh, children of alcoholics do is they see the world in terms of black and white. It's binary. And to me, you're describing that trait, but how it can be a gift. It can be a gift that that capacity is have things be binary. It can have value, not just, it's not all negative. But go ahead.
Absolutely. No. We'll pick this up at another time. We're going to leave people here at the deep end of the pool, but yeah. No. We're
are we saying the same thing? Is that
yeah,
the same thing?
It's not quite. It's in the same orbit.
Okay.
Okay. How's that? Okay. Okay. But
as I say, right church, wrong pew.
I'm with you, Rev. All good. All good, sir.
That it?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, we're there. So we'll come back for the sermon next time. How's that?
Stay with it. Work that metaphor.
Yeah. No, all good, preach. All good.
All right.
Okay, Hunter. Well, I want you to get a plug in. I tried feebly earlier, but you got some business to sell here, sir.
Oh yeah, yes. Thank you, Dr. JJ. Look, audience, family, go over to movingtheroad.us and look at the business we're doing there, and look at our cooperative there, and just look at the services we provide, and look at perhaps supporting the work and our efforts to keep the lights on and pay the bills. Again, movingtheroad.us, and we're grateful that Dr. JJ put in a plug for Rect America Prime content, which you can find at rectamerica.com. That's rectamerica.com, and look for the premium button tab there and look at perhaps becoming a subscriber to the Prime content that we have on Rect America. So 2 things you can do to support the work and keep things flowing. So thanks for letting me get that plug in, Dr. JJ.
Certainly. Always appreciate your time, Hunter, and look forward to where we pick up from here. Okay.
Yes, sir. You be well.
All right. Great. Well, all good. All best wishes and safe travels to all our audience. With that, Dr. JJ out.